absolutely against it.
Fracking is a process in which a well is drilled deep into the earth to gain access to shale rock. Once the well is drilled, fracking fluid, which contains hundreds of chemicals, water, and silica sand, is blasted into the shale rock to create fractures in the rock, hence the name fracking. Once the fractures are created, various gases, including natural gas and oil, is secreted. The gas and oil is collected and stored until it can be treated and shipped away for consumption. You can probably start to guess at what some of the problems can be. What are in the chemicals, you may ask? Well, no one really knows. Many of the chemicals are dangerous if ingested and even emit toxic fumes. Well, you may say, who in their right mind is going to drink a chemical like Windex? Everyone knows not to drink it because you will die, but we still use it. That would be a good point to argue. However, imagine if someone dumped Windex into your glass of water that you were drinking. That is the problem with fracking. Fracking is not the most controlled of processes, and there is a high risk of those dangerous chemicals leaking into our streams, rivers, lakes, aquifers, and poisoning everything. Once you contaminate water, it is very hard to clean it. Many of civilians in Pennsylvania and Texas that live near a fracking site have already complained about contaminated water, which goes hand in hand with the infamous water lit on fire trick.
Just like that.
When you frack, contaminated water is just one problem that is likely to arise. Other problems with fracking include elevated risk of earthquakes, air contamination and pollution, increased highway usage and traffic accidents, traffic deaths, silica sand mining, devastated landscapes, possible sinkholes, exported oil, increases in toxic waste, and there is no long-term economic gain for the townships that allow fracking.
They'll drill until it's not an ongoing long process. They'll drill, they use it up, they extract what they can, and they're done. They cap it off and they leave. So they've used sand, they've used water, they leave behind contaminated water.
Air contamination occurs from the gases leaked during the drilling of the rock and from the chemicals that are used in fracking fluids. It also occurs from the increased amounts of diesel fuel being burned by trucks transporting the natural gas and oil. Flaring is a commonly used term for when a gas that is not economically profitable to store and sell is burned, emitting a large flame and many pollutants.
Right behind me, you can see and hear two flaring gas wells. You can hear how loud it is.
At fracking sites, there is a large amount of construction and maintenance that goes on to sustain the frack site, causing even more pollution.
Silica sand mining is when large quantities of silica sand are mined for the use of fracking fluids. Silica sand is essential to fracking fluid because it keeps the fractures in the shale rocks from closing. Silica sand mining is a problem because it destroys landscapes. It, like fracking, also harms the air quality, pollutes water. The long-term tourism and agriculture economies would be replaced by a short-term get-in, extract, get-out economy that silica sand mining offers. There would be an increase in the amount of trucks on our roads, leading to pollution. Silica sand, once mined, needs to be treated in large plants that contributes to even more pollution. Silica sand mining also contributes to the well-named disease called silicosis. Silicosis occurs when you inhale silica crystals that are released in the air during mining. Silicosis causes fluid to build up in your lungs and scar your lungs, causing breathing troubles.
Once fracking achieves its goal of extracting oil and natural gases, most of the gases and oil is exported to the highest bidder in a foreign country so that the oil company can make the most profits instead of the oil staying in the United States for consumption. So now that you know about fracking, you need to know why it matters to us. Southern Minnesota is full of untouched silica sand, and 3 southeastern Minnesota counties 11 silica sand mines were proposed. Because of the problems that silica sand mines present, it was necessary that the proposal be taken to the community, in which a scoping report was created to outline concerns that the mining company Minnesota Sands had to investigate before any further with their proposal. As of January 10th, 2014, the proposal is ongoing, yet the environmental impact statement has not been completed.
So what we're doing is organizing citizens in these townships that are targeted by the big frac sand companies to pass ordinances that say you can't do it here because, it's not going to be good for us.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we're trying to do is pass what they call a moratorium on this whole area.
Yeah.
That you actually couldn't do it while give people time to study the issue.
The fracking process itself, so it needs a lot of water. I don't know if you've heard on the radio, in this world, any human being or how we grow food, if we are without water, we've got some problems.
Mm-hmm.
And in southwestern Minnesota, I'm just hearing this, they have got, so this is in Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes.
Yeah.
They have got severe drought, and they are very concerned with where they are going to get water. So I don't like to see, with the fracking process, have the water issue being minimized at all. It is huge.
Regulations are bypassed to do it, so it could be, it probably is a big problem.
What would be your opinion on fracking?
The chemical is going to hurt something. Yeah, that's a no-no.
National level, fracking is causing many environmental concerns that oil companies have not addressed. In almost all areas where fracking takes place, smog, methane levels, neurotoxin levels, and other contaminants have increased.
There are numerous petitions you can sign against fracking, and now because of your education on what the topic is, we're already in the midst of ending fracking.